Okay, let's take a look here. Everybody, hopefully you're going to break down my 4-minute lap at Le Mans in the 650S McLaren on race medium tires. It's kind of a goal I've set for myself, and I've been working at it for about 9 months or so. And after I watched the replay, I kind of saw a few things that could probably be worked on, and maybe there's even a 359 in there or something. So let's take a look. I'm just hold on one second. What did I do here? There we are. Try this again. Just sharing it to the socials here a little bit. And then we will get on with the breakdown. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is let's get the settings. Oh, no. We need to actually start the replay. Hit the pause button real quick. Let's get our race info up and get into the camera view that I normally always use. Let's just go like this for a second. We're going to go to the walk mode because what's the most important, not the most important, but in order to get any kind of lap here at Le Mans, you're going to have to hit this. You're going to have to nail this corner right here. This is the Ford chicane. So you've got the first section and the second section. The second section, you better get a good exit because if you don't get a good exit here, you're not going to get anywhere after that. So we got to get a good exit. You can actually see how much of the curb I'm using here. So let's get in the car here and let's go. So we're going to approach the first braking zone. We're going to come around to the side here. This is not a lap guide. It's a lap breakdown. So let's hit pause here. And we're going to scoot up a few frames. And you can see on the right-hand side here, there are 2 total signs. There are actually 3 total signs. But there is a white painted mark on the concrete. That is actually where my first brake marker would be. So let's just fast forward here real quick. And as we close in here, all right, we're going to check for the ABS button, and we're going to go into third person here. So because this is a replay, there's a delay between when you're on the brakes and when the brake meter shows. So let's just fast forward here, a couple more clicks. And we're going to look for there's the ABS light. So now let's take a look inside the car. So it first shows up here with the braking. So just before we hit the white painted area, right near it's the edge of the screen, or you could even use this red, I don't know, like a cover or something right under there. But anyway, that's the first place to brake as we come in. And it's really important to get on the brakes nice and hard. We carry a lot of speed in here. And we're going to move forward to the next spot here. Now, this is where things went sideways for me actually right away, even though this is just a 4-minute lap. It got a little sideways. You see this white painted mark here on the ground. really should be easing off the brakes a little bit and trailing in and then starting our turn in. As you can tell, we're still heavy on the brakes all the way. And now we're just now trailing. It would be nicer to be a little less brake here because you want to, you're going to stay over to the left, but you really want this next, let's go into the photos mode again. Here, we really want to approach this corner as squared up as we can. We really want to have more of an exit going straight. There is a section of the track here that will upset the car. You can actually see this bump right here. That will upset the car and it will send you out here or spin you. So let's go back into the car and let's just go forward just a little bit. Now, ideally, I would be pointed more like this. You know, we want the left side tires only on the outside and instead of this way. So I'm off kilter just a little bit here. It'd be better if I was pointed right here. So you can see I'll have to lift for a little bit longer than I preferred. Should be full throttle now, but so we cleared that spot. Use all the track on the exit. I probably lost another, or maybe a tenth and a half there. And the next brake zone is here. You see right over here. There's that light pole right there. We're going to brake as that leaves the screen. We're not going to have, I got a little more brake than I'd like. You just a little bit. You want to trail in, get to the inside here on the throttle, and back up around. All right, so the next mark here, let's just jump out right now, and we'll go to walk mode. So this corner, this Cetra Rouge is super, super important corner. But you can see here where the pavement and this blue paint starts to match. That's where I'm going to, depending on the car, either lift or add a little bit of brake. And we're going to swing around through there. So let's exit here. So you want to watch for, let's just go a little bit at a time here. We'll just forward. We'll check in the ABS light to see when it comes on. And it's on right there. So right there, just as that little section of paint, we'll go back out and do the photos. Right as this section of paint leaves the edge of my screen, right? Now it's not the edge of the car. You can see how much further back the car is. But the edge of the screen, this is right here. And this is how to consistently brakes. You want to have a spot where you can tell what's happening right at the edge of the screen there. So I'm on the brakes. Now, ideally, I'm not squared up here, and this is probably going to cost me another maybe tenth or so. I would rather be more centered like this instead of out here. And you can see I really push it a little bit wide here and almost got a track limit penalty. And we can take a look and see how much I'm barely on here. So if I would have cut that corner a little bit better with the left side tires, I'd probably be more to the right side tires would probably be more here to the center of the track. You can actually see track marks on here. All right, so we're heading down the Mulsanne, this is the important part here, is you want to carry as much speed as possible. Also, let's jump out real quick again. In walk mode, you need to make sure that your right hand tires are on this side of the white line before you hit the end of this curb. If you don't do that, it's going to be a track limit penalty, and you might as well just start over because you don't want to go all the way down. So let's see if I can do it. Boom. All right. We're just going to carry as much speed as possible. Some of the gears I hold a little bit longer than others. Fifth gear, I hold it a little longer than the other gears. Also, I'm going uphill a little bit here, and I want to keep that gear going as long as possible. And we're going to be approaching the next braking zone for the first Mulsanne chicane. So we got 300, 200. Let's stop it here. Let's do a little exploration in walk mode. Okay, so this is primarily what I'm looking for to begin with, are these marshals right here. And as we go past these marshals, it's easier to see in the car, but this barrier right here, this side of the barrier, you see the split? It's got a little darker color. That's where we're going to be braking for the first Mulsanne chicane. A lot of people, they brake way too late for this corner, and they'll push this 100 board here. You can't, you don't want to do that in a Group 3 car. You want to get on the brakes before this 100 board, because if you don't, you're going to ruin your lap by not being able to carry the speed through the chicane. So let's go ahead back into the car, and we'll just go frame by frame here now. Probably. You can see that the gear selector light is already flashing. Now that gear selector light is the same as where the people that have the red stripes on the pavement now. For me, you want to take as many visual distractions off of the pavement as you can. I do use the corner markers, the little like GPS yellow floating arrows, but they don't move, they don't fade in and out. They're there or they're not there. But as far as like the red coloring on your speedometer and the red lines on the pavement, I think the best thing to do is actually take all of those things off, because they're visual distractions, and you're either you're anticipating things by the color scheme, or you're looking down at the brake marker, the brake zone area, instead of at your brake marker, which is what you should be doing. So let's go another few clicks, looking for that ABS light again to pop on. You can see that we're way deep into the slow down according to the game mode here. And here we are. This is the first time we're on the brakes. So let's hop out real quick and take a look. Let's do a nice little walk around. Okay, so you could also argue that this here tree would also, because if the lighting is different, the sun's at a different spot, of course this barrier, and part of it is I already know, like I have such a feel for it, I just know when to brake. But this first tree here on the left, so as soon as that hits the edge of the screen, if you hit your brakes, you're probably going to be here by the time you get there. So we can see we're well past the marshals here. Let's see, the 200 board is right there, and the 100 board is there. So we're probably braking at like 125, something like that. Okay, so we brake early there, so we don't go too deep. We're going to fast forward, and we're going to start to angle in, and this is where I start to trail off. Now you want to be able to, and we're going to do this walk mode, we want to be able to cut this curbing, right? You can't have all four tires on the inside. You're going to have your left-hand tires out here, but you're going to want to cut it as much as possible and get pointed this way as much as you can, so that when you make the next turn, you're turning in as wide as possible. So let's see here. Let's see how I do this first chicane. Okay, taking all the curb. Left tires are on the curb. Pointed. Now, you can see, let's back up just a little bit. I want to go frame by frame here, because I want you to see the steering. As we're approaching. Pass the marshals on the brakes. Let's stop it here. Now, we're pointing straight at that pole, and you can see the steering, the little red dot in the center. It's right in the middle. And immediately we want to shift the weight of the car. We have to shift the weight of the car quickly, so that we put all of the weight on the outside tires, on the right-hand tires, because we want to be close to this bollard here. The car centered up against the curb here, so we'll be able to lean on the outside tires and get a good straight exit. Now, if you miss this part again, you get on the throttle too early, you're going to spin the car. You're just going to spin it. So if you've got this out, if you have enough weight shifted, that you'll be able to make this. So let's just go frame by frame here. Now we're dead square, and you can see now the very next frame, we've already started to hit the angle. We're still trailing a little bit. We still have the brake pedal applied just a hair. We're almost completely off of it. You can see how much more steering angle I've got. We'll go a couple of frames. Still on the brakes just a little bit. That's just helping me rotate the car. All right, and let's just go forward. Completely off the brakes, not on the throttle yet, just now. Now you do, ideally, you want to be on the throttle before you hit these bollards, before you hit these pylons here. Right, so this is our center apex, and we want to be on the throttle on the exit. I keep walking over there to jump back in the car, like it's Farming Simulator or something. Now, from this point, we'll be able to get the wheel straightened up quickly and carry all kinds of speed out here. Get the weight shifted, follow this all the way down. Now we'll be setting up for the second Mulsanne chicane. We're going to be looking for the 100 board on the right hand side. So here's the 300 board. I'm going to stop. Now here's the 200 board. It's really hard to see on the right hand side. Okay, it doesn't really matter because we don't need to use it. We're actually going to go drive right past the 100 board. Now the reason we can do that in this chicane and not the first one is we're not carrying the same amount of speed. Right, so we don't carry as much speed, we can brake a little bit later. And there we go. I'm actually braking just a touch earlier than I would normally. But it still isn't enough. This is, I mess up this chicane. So the same rules apply for the second Mulsanne as to the first. You want to get as far, now this one you want to get as far and deep into the left as possible so you can get the weight shifted to the right. And let's go in here, and I'm carrying way too much speed still. Way too. See, I'm not on the brakes at all. I'm carrying way too much speed. And I completely, you want, again, the same rules apply here. You want to get the right-hand tires up over the curb. You want to be straddling this curb. You don't want to be, outside. You see how much track I'm leaving here? And this particular corner, it's really good. If you get it right, you can practically, it feels like you can just go straight on the way out of the exit. And I'm not on the throttle. I should be on the throttle. Not on the throttle, carrying too much speed. I actually have to hit the brakes again to get the car to turn. And I still have all this steering lock. You can see where the red dot is. I got all this steering lock. It should be about half of that steering lock. And on this particular corner, you don't want to be out here before you hit the curb, because you're going to get a track limit penalty. So you need to be a little more squared up here. And I screwed up this whole chicane here. And honestly, I think there's probably a 359. There's probably another second I left on the track here. Cut this off. Now, so you can just keep it tight all the way around. You don't have to go to the left just yet. Let's keep the track short. Just kind of ease over, and I'm going to hold fifth gear here a lot because we're going uphill. So I'm just going to hold it, and then shift up. So now we have the 100 board. All right, let's stop and take a look here. The Marshall box right here on the right-hand side. So as we pass the Marshall box, and there is this break in the fence right here. This is where I'm braking. Is this spot here on the fence. Okay, now if you look to the other side, we'll take a look. We'll get it down here and see if that yellow painted barrier over there actually is gone off the screen when we start to brake. Okay, so let's slow it down. Let's go frame by frame. We're looking for the ABS light to come on. All right, so the brake in the fence is already off the screen on the right, and the painted barrier on the left is still on the screen. So let's go one more frame. Painted barrier on the left is gone. Looking for the brakes. There's the brakes. So let's take, let's reverse for a second now because I hit the wrong button. So once again, holding fifth gear in the McLaren until we get over the hill, then drop back down. And pause. Go a little bit further. What am I doing? I'm doing it all wrong. Oops. Okay, let's go forward. one more time. I really mean it this time. Okay. Not lap. So we know we're there. We know that the painted yellow is on the other side, and we're not on the brakes yet. There, now we're on the brakes. Okay, let's take a look at the race photos. So I'm probably, again, the same thing is still braking as this be more accurate is that yellow painted area leaves the screen, and by the time we get on the brakes, the car's traveled this much further. This corner I also mess up here. So full on the brakes and hard on the brakes, and then see where the electric cables crossing over the screen. I should be trailing off now already, and I'm not trailing. I'm abusing the ABS here, but it's gonna hurt my entrance to this corner, and I have to wait because I'm carrying a little too much speed. I'm gonna have to wait to get fully on the throttle. Do get on the throttle. Do not put your left side tires in the sand. It will invalidate your lap. So keep those left side tires out of the sand. If you're doing time trial, it'll invalidate it, maybe give you a penalty. If you're doing a race in the game, it will give you a penalty. So again, now we're going to move over to the right-hand side and keep it right here. A lot of people tend to take this corner and then drift out to the left, but think about keeping the car on the shortest available path. And the shortest available path is to keep it tight to the right. Next corner, we've got the 200 board. We've got the 100 board. We've got this green patch. Let's get out of the car and take a look. This is the green patch here. Now, you can put your tires over here. But if you get on the brakes on this green stuff, if you're a little bit worried that you won't make the corner, or you're in a car that understeers, or it's got more speed, and you get out here and you hit the brakes too hard, you will slide the tires, and then your lap's probably over. All right, so we're aiming for the center of the curb. And let's take a look and see where the brakes are. Now, there's a couple of references. You see where the fence starts there. And again, a lot of this stuff I just have a feel for now. So let's look at a new brake marker, so we can find one for somebody else to use, as long as you're in this camera view. If you're in a different camera view, you may have to find a different one. But I'm thinking this triangle right here and the fence is going to be a good marker. Okay, we're still not on the brakes. That's completely left our screen. There we go. All right, so the other reference would be, although I don't really like that, is where the end of the curb is where the speedometer is. So let's take a look out here. All right, so this, you can see where we are sitting at, but this triangle here is not in our screen anymore. We've actually gone past it, and we're probably right about here when we finally get on the brakes. Okay, so let's go and let's get back in the car here. All right. Yeah, so there it is. That second pole just past the triangle, just as it leaves the screen, and we're getting on the brakes. You gotta be hard on the brakes for quite a little bit here. So let's go forward. At the curb here, we're gonna start turning and letting off the brakes. I'm a little bit off the apex here. I'd rather be closer to the curb, but I'm already back on the throttle, full throttle, all the way in. Let's see as we get closer to the Gantt sign. Okay, so let's call it fair there. Just as, let's take a look. So the first Gantt sign, we're completely past it. just as this Gantt sign is hitting the edge of the screen. In fact, probably braking a little bit earlier than what I did would be better. There's also the 50 board. That's way too late for these cars. So just, I don't know, let's get back in the car. Let's say if we could see the edge of the Gantt sign there, if we braked where we could see that much on our screen would probably be the better place to brake. So we're still trying to find some time here because I get a little deep in this corner as well. Start turning in right there at the edge of the curb. On the curb. Now here, I want to back up because I want to show you the steering that happens here. This is really important on this corner. This is coming out of the Porsche curve or the Indianapolis corner. All right, it's really important here. You can see where my steering angle is way to the right. Let's go forward quite a ways here. We're just going to do it frame by frame. So I'm fully off the brakes now. Letting the car roll just a little bit. Thinking about if you had to shift down to first, maybe your exit gear is a different gear. This is another car. No wall smacking. No, I haven't. No wall smacking. All right, so we're still watching the red dot on the steering. We're still on the steering. Now I'm starting to get on the throttle. I haven't punched it or anything like that because that's a surefire way to. This is Arnage or something. You smack walls more than you try. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'm doing well, Dragon. Doing well. Just breaking down my lap here. It's not really a lap guide, but there aren't any real lap guides that are valid for this version of Gran Turismo 7 anymore. So you can still see that I still have lots of steering lock on to the right. Getting fully on the throttle, more throttle, more throttle. Now, as you come around the exit here, I should probably call it tow. Yeah. How have you guys been doing today? I was gone almost the whole day, and I don't have a lot of time this evening, so this is what's going to happen today. Okay, you can see I'm bringing the steering back now, so it's right. You need to get the wheel straight as you can, because if you don't, you're going to lose the rear, right? You hold too much steering lock on and you get too much on there. So you can see I'm actually pointing straight this way. If I held my steering lock, the car would be over here. I'd be fully on the throttle and it would just come around on me. So you can see that I'm pointing there towards that black wall, that dark colored wall. See, I'm almost completely straight here. And then I start to bring the wheel back. And I'm doing that because if you don't, you could just oversteer. And if you have the wheel, if you have a rear wheel, and you can see this green paint, this is slippery stuff. If you cross into the green paint with all four tires, you're going to invalidate your lap, get a penalty. And you don't want to hit this barrier. Now, I could be a lot closer to this barrier here. It's risky, but you could be a lot closer. But you do want to get the wheel straight, because if you don't get it straight and you get on the throttle too much, you're just going to do one of these things. Your car's going to be gone and you're going to be pointing the wrong direction. All right, so let's keep going. Again, you want to keep it to the left. There's no reason to fade all the way out to the right. Shorten the track distance up. Nice and center, nice and smooth. All right, our next, we're going to be looking at these Goodyear signs, okay? So we're going to look for the ABS light to come on. It's probably going to be just after the Goodyear sign on the right. Or the left. No, on the right. So right at the edge of the screen, you see the Goodyear sign is just to the edge of my screen there on the right, right? So this is how you do consistent braking, is you pick a marker and you put it in a place that you can repeat it. at the edge of your screen, at the top of your screen, the bottom of the screen, whatever, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to brake all the way and then start trailing off. Now this, I'm actually cutting this off a little bit too early. So when you get to this part of the track, this painted lines here, this is where you're going to start turning in. I turned in a little too early, so I should have turned in a little bit later. And I'm actually going to be up on this curb, and I'm going too slow. So again, I still think that there's probably a full second left in this lap. All right, so if I turned in later, okay, if I turned in a little later than what I did, actually I got completely beyond the dashed and solid white line before I started turning in, I'd be able to carry probably 3, 4, 5 miles an hour more into this corner. And right now we're at 116. So you could probably carry about 122 miles an hour. But I turned in early, I'm going slow, and I'm getting really tight on the inside because I'm not carrying any speed. Again, the same thing happens here. As soon as you get the wheel straight, you need to shift the weight of the car to the turn to the left, shift the weight to the outside. You can cut the inside of that, shift up, just a nice little lift here, back on the throttle, and then here we are right at, as we pass this, but right here at the edge where this concrete part is, you're going to get on the brakes a little bit to start slowing the car down. You don't have to be on them for very long. Just a little bit, hard, and then we're immediately starting to trail. We want to get that car and get back on the throttle. This is one of the hardest turns in the whole track. Okay, we're looking at the steering angle again. I'm lifting, no brakes, just lifting. I actually get this wrong. Okay, big, see, I just kind of turned hard to the left, got all the weight shifted to the outside. Now, ideally, I would be pointed, the car would be pointed like this. Now, this corner is very similar to one of the corners at Watkins Glen, where you can feel it when it's right. You can feel the way that the car is behaving on the track when it's right, and you can get on the throttle. So if I'm more to the left, so I've taken up more curb on the left, and you can feel the car will start to grip back in right about here, and you can get back on the throttle early. Since I kind of messed this corner up, and I'm outside, I have to lift on exit there. All right. Now we're heading up to the Ford chicanes. Okay. We are aiming to get on the brakes right where all three of these lines connect. So we're going to be on the brakes. And ideally, you're not on the brakes hard. You're going to be on the brakes light. I am on the brakes hard, and I overslow the car. So you can carry quite a bit of speed. Okay, so I'm much earlier than what I thought I was. JDM, how's it going? It's good to see you. Let's see here. What have I done here? Okay, yeah, I braked just as these two concrete walls changed color. So I'm quite a ways away from where I could be braking, which is most likely why I overslowed the car, because you can see I'm already on the brakes. The ABS light is on, and there's a little bit of a brake bar. Hard on the brakes, and this is my apex speed. You see, I'm already too slow, right? So I should be taking this corner at around 103, 104. And then on the brakes a little bit, bring it over here, and then you're on the brakes again and turning left. This is a really difficult corner to get correct. It's so easy to get it wrong. If you get too far to the left, you're just going to bounce the car. If you don't get far enough to the left, you're going to be out here, and you're going to miss the setup. And what we're going to do on this is the last part of the Ford chicane, is you kind of want to ride this sausage curb with just the right tire, the right side tire. Just ride it just a little bit you know, not a lot, just a little bit. So you can see how much I'm cutting. Let's take a look at the car and see how much I've cut this off. I'm just barely staying legal here. Get the weight shifted over. Let's just kind of go frame by frame here. So you can see I'm not way over the curb. Let's take a look at the car and see. If you stay to the outside, I'm done for. If you put the right hand tires over, you see how much I'm riding, I'm still on the curb, you're going to be okay. If you dump the right side tires over the edge, you're going to high center the car, and you'll still probably be legal, but you're going to bounce the car, right? The car is going to get bounced, so you can see, because you're going to high center it. So as long as you stay on the curb, you'll be able to get this. You'll be able to get this thing out of here, all right? And then on the exit, you want to make sure you get all the way out here. Take a look. See, I've lined up the car. So we're right dead center. Throttle all the way out. And there it is. A 4:09 time. So by breaking this down and looking at it, though, I think there's another second left in here. I think I have a 3:59 sitting here in the McLaren. Now the BOP is on. This is in time trial. The BOP is on. I think it's at 1800. So at 6 p.m. is the time I selected on race medium tires. I do think there is a whole second left in this lap, just by when I went through the track, the lap, just the errors that I saw again, that I know I've made. Yeah, I think it's still there. So we'll just watch it go faster, and it's a little bit different. Actually, we can, let's change to the hood cam, or whatever you call it. And you can kind of see a little bit easier on how much of the track I'm using. Turning in. You can carry a little bit more speed here, and I don't do that well. I love the sound of this car. Lift off, didn't turn in hard enough. Got a little nervous on the exit. Again, I'm holding fifth gear a little bit longer than the other gears. Some of it has to do with going up the hill and then going back down. As you can see, I also don't have, I have a crosswind. I don't have any tail or headwind. And I think if you pick I think it's the 1800 or the 6 p.m., you'll get the same kind of crosswind. And then all of your parameters will be the same as mine. And it is a time trial, so I don't actually have fuel weight, even though I have full fuel. You know, Piper, it's taken me, I don't know, 9 or 10 months to shave off 23 seconds. I never got in a big hurry. I took my time. I would run the track. I'd work on something. I'd leave it for a while and then come back and see how much I retained. And you can actually see, as we just went through this last chicane here, you can kind of get a sense of how I messed it up. You heard the tires squealing. You know, I was delayed on the throttle. I was waiting way too long to get back on throttle. If I'd had a better entrance, I would have had a better exit. As we go through quickly again, we're going to be on the brakes. Should be off the brakes a little bit now. I'm a little bit late, and I'm waiting on the throttle. If I'd have brought the car down to, say, 52 miles an hour, I would have been, that corner would have been easier. I'd have been on the throttle much earlier if I could have got the car rotated better. But as it is, it was a goal of mine to get to this 4-minute mark. there's a few references I have. Cyrus did a race not that long ago where he was running 4-minute laps in the NSX. So I'm feeling pretty comfortable with my pace when it comes to this. I started in Group 4 cars, if that helps, Piper. I started with slower cars. And again, it's not going fast right away. Just take a little time out of it each time. You know, make sure you're retaining the adjustments that you're making. You know, pick the first Mulsanne chicane and say, okay, I can do this better. You know, I'll brake a little bit later, I'll brake a little bit earlier, I'll turn in, but don't try and do it all at once. This is a long lap. It's 8 miles. Every mistake that you make has got to carry for a very long lap. It's like the Nürburgring in that way. It's incredibly hard to make up time later on in the lap. TC, how's it going? It's good to see you. So having it in small sections make a big difference. If you can hit the Mulsanne chicane, the first one, if you can hit it better, more consistently each time, then you're probably going to oh, come on now. The Nürburgring is the best place to learn how to drive a course. Now, a lot of people don't want that, but it is true. Because it offers all the corner types, all the throttle types, everything. It's a complicated one. The worst part about the Nürburgring is how long it is before you have to start again. But if you want to learn all the different corners and throttle and braking, that's the place to go. But there's nothing here at Le Mans that you can't learn at the Nürburgring. Oh, well, yeah, to make it so it doesn't rain when you do practices. So this will be the final lap here. I'm sorry I don't have more time today to do something different. I am strapped for time today. But I thought, since I got this goal of this 4-minute lap, that maybe going through it a little bit, so other people can see what I'm thinking when I'm doing it. Maybe it'll help others think, okay, well, wait, if this is what he's doing and he did that, then maybe I can do that and see what happens. So, you know, actually the first chicane there's beautiful work in there. Used all the track, got the car shifted, got on throttle nice and quickly. And now we get to listen to this amazing sounding car. I really love the sound of the McLaren. And that kind of hollow sound to it. Of course, at this one here, I get all kinds of wrong because I carry too much speed. And I'm slowing down when I should be speeding up. So with a little more work, I do think I can get a 359 with a bit more work if I could tie everything together consistently. And like I say, I took a few, jeez, you gotta be kidding me here. I took a few seconds at a time, you know, a few seconds to learn things. And I didn't try to do it all at once and all on the same day. So it really doesn't like to do replays. I don't know why the machine is getting hot. It's clean. I took it apart, just cleaned it. I wouldn't think that my thermal pads were out already, but who knows? We're almost done here. I hope everybody's had a good day today. Got to watch the interview after the fact with Kizzy and Grover. That was pretty good. I kind of got identified as the guy that, you know, slaps Grover in the head. Well, let's try. I want to try. See if the Discord pops up. If I've got a command that works. There, my Discord command works. Yeah, it was a good interview. We'll be finishing up here. Like I say, I just overslowed the car there. I braked too early. I was so nervous. I'm getting so concerned about getting it right instead of just doing it. That is my 4-minute lap around Le Mans. Been a long work in progress. A long work in progress. I do think there's more, obviously. So I'm trying to think about what track I should focus on next. Which one should I? I've been thinking about Interlagos, honestly. About getting and breaking it down, doing film study, like I did a lot of that. Now, there wasn't a GT7 lab guide that I could reasonably use, so I had to use one from a different racing game, but it seemed to work. But I'm thinking Interlagos. I do like Interlagos, and I think that'd be a fun game. That'd be a fun track to get better at. I'm probably 2.5 seconds off the A plus guys' paces, and that's a much shorter track, so it's going to be harder to find time than Le Mans. You can probably find 2-3 seconds just at one corner if you're slow. Watkins Glen would be good. Probably need to do some work there. But I would prefer to, I like to just pick one track, and kind of work on it like I did with Le Mans. I mean, there's still plenty of work to be done, as you've noticed, as I explained in the video, that I still have a lot of work to do on it. What's this alert here? Oh, I got invited to somebody's chat. Oops, sorry. I accidentally went out of a game and it paused the recording. So hopefully it's back recording. Yeah, it's still there. Okay, yeah, I screwed that up. So, but anyway, I think that'll be it for today, because I've got a banquet to get ready to go to. I got voluntold I was going, so that's what I'll be doing. I need to get ready to go to that. Need to still unravel from the therapy session today, so I think I'll have a few other. TC, I'm a little torn about streaming on Sunday at Nürburgring. I feel like I could do it. I would love to do it. I would love to be able to get the watch hours up. It's one of those tracks where if you lose focus for a split second, you're off. You're off in the dirt. But I would like to be able to stream it. I'll think about it a little bit more. I feel really comfortable at the Nürburgring right now in the Group 4 cars. I really do feel comfortable. I never feel like I'm out of my elements or out of control or I'm going too fast or anything like that. So I think I could probably do it. So I think it'd be great. I've got some work to do with my folks tomorrow. We're doing some cleanup around their house, and it'll give me a chance to kind of think about it. What I'd probably like to do, I can't do it tonight, unfortunately, is do some practice runs, do some practice laps where I'm actually getting distracted a little bit by the chat. It pops up on my screen, so it's not a big thing. I don't have to look away, just to see how I feel about it. But Yeah, I'd love to do it. I think it would be great, and I would hope. I think the big trouble with the Nürburgring is, within 25 minutes, everybody's going to be spread out. It's going to be everybody's going to be everywhere because it doesn't care what kind of. Oh, that's great, TC. I appreciate that. The NERB doesn't care what your driver rating is. It doesn't care if you've got an A rating. It doesn't care if you've got a D rating. It's got its own set of rules. But yeah, I'll think about it, and I appreciate that, TC. I do. I appreciate it. Yeah. So I'm going to log off. I got to go get ready for my banquet, and then I will catch. Maybe we can do something tomorrow evening when I get done with helping my folks. I might have some time. And I don't know, Piper. I was talking about maybe we start the night shift with Doc tomorrow night. I was talking about that a little bit. We're getting. We'll figure out something. But I appreciate it, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. I appreciate the watch hours, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.